Hey y'all, this is Julian Rico, and before I get started with this video, I need that comment from Dead8780, who said about me maybe switching to a Packers fan, in which I am not a Packers fan, although that would be nice, and we'll have to travel to Lambeau Field. Oh, and this football right there, that ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. If you don't see it, it's gonna still be there. Either way, if you don't see it, I'm still that Panthers fan right here in Charlotte. Oh, and we got some baseball right here because, of course, we got the World Series. So once that World Series World Series happens, I will predict the World Series. So that's something to be incredible of. But today, I am predicting the NBA 2024-25 season. Yes, the moment we've been waiting for, and the tip-off for a new season begins on October 22nd. So that will be a Tuesday. So I have to get these predictions out of the way, and let's get right to it. Starting in the East. 15 team in the country. I got it's not 15 team in the country, sorry. In 15, I have the Washington Wizards, led by Coach Brian Kiffey, in dead last. Now, this is a team, of course, young team. They did draft Alex Sarr in their recent draft. Jordan Poole will probably step up, but I still think this Wizards team is not that enough to be ready against those good opponents. At 14, I have the Brooklyn Nets, coached by Jordi Fernandez in his first season as the Nets head coach. Now, Jordi Fernandez is coming in from Sacramento as the assistant coaching staff in Sacramento. Really good pickup for Brooklyn, but of course, rebuild team. Of course, you did send Mikal Bridges to New York, to the Knicks, but this is a rebuilding team, and they will look to hopefully get a higher draft pick in next year's draft. Number 13. This is one I went back and forth to. I have Detroit Pistons, who are led by first-year coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Now, I can put them higher, but I felt something in the team that I'm about to reveal this shirt. But I think the Pistons, they're going to be good. They're not going to be the worst team in the NBA, but I still think that team is still good with Cade Cunningham if he can stay healthy. And I like they brought in a coach who's done great things in Cleveland as the Cavs coach. But I think he's really a good pickup, really good one. And he did say he is changing the culture in Detroit Pistons basketball team. So no hoodies. So we will not see those players wearing hoodies. But the Pistons, 13. At 12, I got the Chicago Bulls, led by Coach Billy Donovan. I think this is this makes a lot of sense because DeMar Rosen is gone. He's now with Sacramento. But also you lose Alex Corso to Oklahoma, who's now with the Thunder. And you get at least Lonzo Ball is going to be healthy, so that's something they should be proud of. But this is still a team that last year they came in the play-in tournament. Unfortunately, fell short to get to the playoffs. But will this be another play-in team? I don't think so. I think this is going to be the year they're trending down, where we could see Zach LaVine maybe trading somewhere else, or unless LaMelo Ball has another injury that would affect their season. At 11, and this is maybe the hottest, maybe the best one here, I have the Charlotte Hornets. Yes, the Charlotte Hornets are going to go at 11. Here's why. They're led by Coach Charles Lee, who is coming in from the Boston Celtics assistants coach. Um, Everyone in Charlotte loves to hire. I like the hire for this one. I think Charles Lee is going to at least give the confidence he's going to bring in to Charlotte. I was going to think of them putting at 13-2 because, of course, it's a first-year coach. He is an unexperienced coach. He's going to learn in the future as a head coach. So I like the idea of Charles Lee coming in. Brandon Miller is going to be really going to be the star for this team. LaMelo Ball in that team as well. I'm assuming they're hoping to look for Miles Bridges to step up this year too. So I think that's something I would love to see. I would hope to go to a Charlotte Hornets game, and I would probably go to a Boston Celtics game or a Lakers game or maybe the Warriors. But I think the Hornets are going to fall just a bit short, maybe to the 10th place team, Toronto Raptors. Now, again, they got a good team in Scotty Barnes, Scotty Barnes is a really good player over there in Toronto. But this is a younger team. They just need to bring in at least one more player to help this team get in the playoffs. And they are going to get in. I think they will get in the play-in tournament. I have the Raptors in 10th. At number 9, I have the Atlanta Hawks, coached by Quinn Snyder. I think the Hawks would trade Young and their new shiny toy, first overall pick, Zach Zarina. Steph coming in. Of course, they did lose D'Angelo Murray, who's now with New Orleans. I think Atlanta's still that good team, but in the play-in tournament would make sense. Number 8, Miami Heat. I think the Heat will get in the playoffs. I think they're in the play-in. I think they're just going to fall short to the playoffs. Good coach, good players there. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo's. There's got to be somebody else who's going to step up in that team in order we hear Miami's name say, oh, that's an NBA team we could keep an eye on for winning a championship. At 7, I think this is one of my worst predictions, but this has got to make sense. I think the Indiana Pacers are going to end up in the play-in tournament. I think coming off last season's Eastern Conference Finals, you get swept by the Celtics. That was a showing of, this team is young, of course, but there's going to be some rough roads to try to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think that is where I'm standing right there. I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to be a star in Indiana. He's been there for Indiana, and I think he's really been a good player right there for the Pacers. At number 6, I think the Orlando Magic will go back to the playoffs. I think they're a super young, talented team, and I think there's a chance they can get through the second round of the playoffs, and we'll see. We'll find out what happens there in Orlando. Number 5, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kenny Atkinson. Now, I love this hire. If I were to pick the top 3 best hires, it would be Charles Lee at 3, JJ Redick at 2, and Kenny Atkinson at number 1. Now, Kenny Atkinson, of course, he was a former Brooklyn Nets head coach before it went to the Warriors as the assistant. He was going to be the Hornets head coach until then he decided to stay in Golden State as an assistant, and now he becomes the new head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I love this hire. I think he's going to bring some offense for Donovan Mitchell. Max Strus, who I am told this today, he will be injured, will be out, I believe, 6 weeks, so that is a huge loss there. But if Kenny Atkinson brings offense for Donovan Mitchell and that team, boy, that team is probably going to win an NBA championship in maybe 2 or 3 years. Just wait for that Kenny Atkinson offense for Cleveland. Number 4, I think the Milwaukee Bucks and with Doc Rivers. This is a good team. Giannis did say if he does not win the NBA title this year, he would get traded out. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would surprise me if he goes to maybe the Warriors, Lakers, or the Mavericks, whoever. But I think Doc Rivers coming in from Milwaukee since last year. Remember, they fired Adrian Griffin, bring in Doc Rivers to be the coach there. I think Milwaukee will get to the playoffs, but just fall short to that top 3, which would be the Philadelphia 76ers. I think with Paul George, it's going to really be the team to keep an eye on winning the NBA championship. Maybe somewhere in the future with Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey. Boy, that's a big 3 in Philadelphia. All right, and second place, I have the New York Knicks, which means number 1 is the Boston Celtics. We'll get to them why. Let's start with the Knicks. The Knicks, look at the lineup. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart. I keep forgetting everybody. Oh, OG Anunoby. That's the best 5 formation for this team. Now, can they match up with Boston? Maybe at least one game. Maybe they would match up in the opener. We'll see that happening. But here is why Boston. Boston's still that good team. Everyone is back from that championship team last season. And John Mazzulla is a real good coach. He's a good coach there in Boston. But they're trying to get to that title number 19, in which historically the Lakers do not want to hear that happening. All right, we'll get to who is going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals and in Western Conference Finals. Here is the West. Portland Trailblazers, led by Coach Kenneth Billups. I think this is still, again, people's no surprise. Portland is going to go in last place. Young team, they got some talent there, but I just think they have to find, I think they would probably find a new coach if this team does not go to the direction that the owners will want. At 14, I think the Utah Jazz is going to fall there. They got their star player resigned, but I think this team, they still need to, this is a rebuilding team, so give me Utah there. Number 13, this is where I think people will probably, in the comment section below, disagree with me in this one. I think San Antonio is going to go to 13. Here is why. I don't know about the chances of Chris Paul coming in from the Warriors, who was waived, and now joining Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. But can you go up against the big boys like Minnesota, Denver? They can do it, but I don't. But I would concern of Chris Paul because he gets some injuries too. But I think 13 just falls short. Number 12, I think the Clippers are going to fall to number 12. I think this is the team a lot of us will be talking about because they're getting a new stadium. Yay! That's the good news. The bad news is you don't have Paul George. And plus, you don't have a third guy in that team. You only got is Kawhi Leonard, who there's a lot of reports of maybe consider he could retire. And you got James Harden. And his times could come to an end. So I think the Clippers and Tyronn Lue, he's probably thinking we're going to need to bring in players who are going to want to win, who want to win in LA. Number 11, I think this should be a good team, but I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to get to 11. I love the move of Zach Edey from the draft. Good center. And he is going to replace Steve Adams, who's gone to Houston. That is why they brought in Zach Edey. And if you see him in college, he's a real good player. He's a good defender, but once he has the ball in his hands, he will do the layups and could dunking on you. I think Memphis falls short to the Golden State Warriors. Now the Warriors, I have a friend of mine who's a Warriors fan, so Jaden, this is for you. I have the Warriors at 10. Look, you lose Chris Paul, Klay Thompson. I get it. That's just a story to lose. But they still have Steph Curry. They still have Draymond Green. They still have Steve Kerr. Now, they are going to be a play-in team, but how far would they get in the play-in team? So we'll see what happens there in Golden State, but wish the best of luck there. Number 9, I think Houston Rockets. This is a team last year that could have made it in the play-in tournament, but I think this is going to be the year they get in the play-in tournament, and they will. On to one of the top 3 head coaches that I just mentioned there, the Lakers. JJ Redick, well-earned job. Congratulations, JJ. He also has a podcast and his YouTube channel, so subscribe to his channel as he's got a good podcast. He always talks with LeBron. I think the Lakers are going to be the team we're all going to be keeping an eye on because, of course, this will be JJ Redick's first team coaching. All eyes on Bronny James Jr., LeBron James teaming up with his son. Of course, I already said his name. Anthony Davis. And what is this offense going to look like with JJ Redick there? And defensively, it's what I would be a little concerned of. So give me the Lakers at 8. Sacramento Kings at 7. I love the move of DeMar DeRozan, but I think there's going to be some injuries that are going to come in through on the road. Mike Budenholzer and the Suns at 6. I think Mike Budenholzer, who's already won an NBA championship with the Bucks, comes into Phoenix and try to bring Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and the Suns back to the NBA Finals. I think this is the bold prediction here. I think the Pelicans are going to be in 5th. I think Willie Green and that team is going to be really good with Zion Williamson. But they also added DeJounte Murray from Atlanta. So that is something really I'm excited to see. Number 4, I think the Denver Nuggets. I think they're still the team a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on too. Of course, they did add Russell Westbrook. But will he be good enough to play for Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray in Denver? Number 3, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves with Chris Finch after last year's short appearance to the Western Conference Finals. I think there's a chance this team could go to the NBA Finals if they can stay healthy. Of course, you lose Karl-Anthony Towns. That hurts a lot. But at least bringing in Julius Randle or Dante DiVincenzo, it's going to really help this team really be that team. Number 2, I think the Mavericks are going to be a good team. You add Klay Thompson in the mix with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. That's the big 3 in Dallas. So you got to be be happy about that. I think the Mavericks end up in 2nd. And in first place, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this is a good Thunder team. This is a young team. One number was first place last year, and they will do it again this year. SGA is really the player to keep an eye on. He is my MVP award too. So my MVP award will go to SCG. He's a real good, talented young kid. He's got Chad Holmgren, and I think this team will do whatever it takes to get to the NBA Finals. Let's get to my NBA Finals here. So I think for me, Eastern Conference Finals first. We'll go Boston, New York, and Boston will win it in Game 5. And then it will be Thunder versus Timberwolves, and Thunder wins it in Game 6. And I have Celtics, Thunder in the NBA Finals, and I have the Thunder winning it all in Game 6. I think the Thunder, this is a young team in trying to lead this team to what they want to do, and that is winning an NBA title. I think this is going to be the one that this probably be the year Oklahoma's going to win it all. Now, here are NBA Finals that I think could happen. Boston against Dallas, of course, could be a good rematch of that last year's NBA Finals. Dallas will want that rematch. Knicks versus Thunder, I think that would be a Game 7 NBA Finals. Boston, Denver, that would be a Game 5 series. Boston, Minnesota, that's a Game 6-7 series. And then Knicks and Timberwolves, that would be a 5 to 6 game series there. But I think the Oklahoma City Thunder will win the NBA Finals for the 2024-25 season. That is it for today, folks. And yes, this football ain't going nowhere. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.